History just proved the Bible right. Again, 1. The Dead Sea Scrolls, proof of the Bible's preservation. In 1947, a young Bedouin shepherd searching for a lost goat stumbled into a cave near Qumran on the edge of the Dead Sea. What he found changed biblical history forever. Clay jars filled with scrolls dating back over 2,000 years. These became known as the Dead Sea Scrolls. Among them were ancient manuscripts of nearly every book of the Old Testament, preserved almost perfectly. When scholars compared these texts to the Hebrew Bible we have today, they were astonished. Despite centuries of copying by hand, the scriptures were almost identical, word for word. This discovery silenced critics who claimed the Bible had been corrupted over time. Instead, it proved the words of Isaiah, the Psalms, and other books have been faithfully preserved through the centuries. Isaiah 40 verse 8 says, "The grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of our God will stand forever." The Dead Sea Scrolls are living evidence of that promise. 2. The Tel Dan Stele, evidence of King David. For centuries, skeptics argued that King David was nothing more than a myth, a legendary figure invented by later writers. But in 1993, archaeologists digging in northern Israel uncovered a stone slab with an inscription from the 9th century BCE. This stone, called the Tel Dan Stele, was written by an enemy king of Aram. In it, he boasts of defeating the house of David. This was the first historical evidence outside the Bible confirming David's dynasty existed. The Bible tells us David was a man after God's own heart, 1 Samuel 13 verse 14. Now archaeology confirmed he was also a real man of history, remembered even by his enemies. 3. The Cyrus Cylinder, the return from exile. In the book of Ezra, the Bible records that King Cyrus of Persia allowed the Jews to return from Babylon and rebuild the temple in Jerusalem. For centuries, some doubted this story, until archaeologists unearthed a clay cylinder in Babylon, dating to the 6th century BCE, known as the Cyrus Cylinder. This artifact describes how Cyrus allowed conquered peoples to return to their homelands and restore their temples. This matches perfectly with the biblical account in Ezra 1 verses 2 to 3, where Cyrus declares, "The Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he has appointed me to build him a house at Jerusalem." History confirmed what Scripture had said all along. God used Cyrus to fulfill his promise to his people. 4. The Pool of Siloam, the place of a miracle. In John 9, the Bible tells us about a man born blind whom Jesus healed. Jesus spat on the ground, made mud, and told the man to wash in the Pool of Siloam. For years, skeptics claimed this pool never existed. But in 2004, during repairs to a sewer line in Jerusalem, workers uncovered the remains of a large first-century pool. Archaeologists confirmed it was the Pool of Siloam, the very place where Jesus performed his miracle. John 9 verse 7 records Jesus' words, "Go, wash in the Pool of Siloam." And the man came back seeing. What critics once mocked as fiction turned out to be real stone and water beneath Jerusalem's streets. 5. The Pontius Pilate inscription, proof of the governor. For centuries, some historians doubted whether Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor who sentenced Jesus to crucifixion, ever existed. But in 1961, archaeologists working in Caesarea Maritima discovered a limestone block inscribed with his name and title, Pontius Pilate, prefect of Judea. This inscription dated to the 1st century, placing Pilate exactly where the Bible said he was. The Gospels record Pilate's struggle to release Jesus, yet yielding to the crowd's demand for crucifixion. John 19 verse 22 reminds us of Pilate's role when he declared, "What I have written, I have written." History now bears witness to the very man who condemned the Lord.